Hey, what's good guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got the performance review on these bad boys right here. This, my friends, is the Nike LeBron 18. So these guys were one of the last shoes I was able to play in both indoors and outdoors, so that's what this review is going to be about. Future reviews, like upcoming Kyrie 7, that's going to be an outdoor only because the gyms here, again, we're in California, are closing. This guy was one of the last shoes I was able to play in inside, so this review is going to be based off of both indoor and outdoor. So the traction on these is much better than what I had experienced on the LeBron 17. Not only do we have lots of flex grooves, both linearly and laterally, but the kind of like waffle pattern or whatever, the milk crate, if you will, just worked excellent on indoor courts. It was fantastic. I have no complaints whatsoever. The back section, if you happen to get caught on your heels, obviously there's not much there, so you might eat it. That's what happens though when you play defense. So as far as the fit goes, they do fit true to size. Lengthwise, my foot's right there at the edge, right where I like it. Lockdown is pretty good. These large fly wire cables that are making up the eyelet sections of the shoe have held up fairly nicely, and they protect mostly from the lateral movements. However, my one main complaint about these is the lateral stability. You can kind of see where my foot is expanding the knit and everything, and then it goes over the footbed. You do sit in that midsole just a little bit, but not enough. So when I'm making certain lateral movements, I can feel my entire foot kind of like shift over, and it just isn't the best feeling in my opinion. It does something in my mind where as soon as I feel that shift, I don't feel comfortable, so I kind of like either stop or slow down completely. So that's the one thing that I wish was there. I wish that there was a little bit more, coverage here, and then I also wish that the base was a little bit wider. Maybe a little bit of an outrigger would have helped accommodate that issue. So again, moving back down to the traction, you can see that pattern right there. It just works really great. The flex groove is awesome, especially with all of this cushion. So if you're going to do a toe off like this, you're going to really press. You got all that flexibility. You don't feel restricted whatsoever. Again, lateral coverage is great. My only, again, complaint is when you really hit on this lateral side. Hopefully you can kind of see the little bit of a tippiness. Maybe if I turn this way, but as soon as I'm like running and then I pop like this, it's just, I feel like I'm about to roll over sometimes, and I really don't like that. Now the cushion on these things is fantastic. So if cushion is your main priority, this is probably the only shoe that you're going to want to look at this year. The Air Max unit right there is 3/4 length, so it goes all the way to that midfoot. It feels amazing, like that compression right there, man. It just, this crazy. And then the midsole itself is actually Cushlon, which is another layer of excellent cushion, especially for a foam. And then inside of all of that, there's a full-length Zoom Air unit. It even goes into the middle section of that Air Max unit underneath. And so not only do you have full-length cushion from the Zoom, you got rear impact protection from the Air Max, you got 4-foot extra cushion with that Cushlon. I mean, this is the most comfortable shoe of this year. So the materials, I believe they call it Knitposit, Knitposit 2.0, something like that. I don't really remember. The knit is not bad, especially from a break-in perspective. It doesn't feel like it requires any real break-in whatsoever. The downside though is that it frays, especially up here at the high wear areas if you get stepped on or if you do a toe drag or anything like that. And so this, for whatever reason, I thought that it would stay more together because you can feel the glue on top of it, but it doesn't. It just, comes apart like that, and it just kind of gets worse as you play. Now the one piece of material on the shoe that I'm not a fan of at all, like I was saying earlier, is this tongue. They are different on every colorway. So the Lakers color has more of a synthetic nubuck. That's the style that I would prefer. However, the problems with the tongue are going to be pretty apparent on every model. Doesn't really matter on the colorway itself. There's a lot of lace pressure right here, especially with the way that lateral side right here, like you kind of tip over, it makes me really tug on these laces so that I can stay as close to the footbed as possible. But then the tongue is so thin right here where there is lace pressure, where it just pinches, and it's super uncomfortable, especially like right here where you can see that fold. On this colorway in particular, this is like a plasticky fuse, so that area right there just digs right into your foot, and it's just not a comfortable setup. This thing right here, it moves pretty decently as long as you wear long enough socks. But again, this material, the posit or the Knitposit, is okay. It's not bad or anything, but this stuff right here, this just, especially for like a shoe of this caliber where it's got so much good things going for it, this being one of the distractions, it's kind of like, it just shouldn't be there. So as far as support is concerned, all of it is really good, except for, like I was saying, this lateral little section, this lack of outrigger, the way that your foot kind of bulges over the midsole instead of being cupped by it. So again, real hard stops and stuff like that, you just kind of teeter over. If the traction, because it is so good, when it does catch, you end up stopping on the floor and then your momentum still shifts. So again, you're just kind of like pushing over that footbed, and I just don't like it. However, the heel is amazing. I love this heel counter. I think that this thing is awesome. It's beefy enough, but still like super flexible and light, so it doesn't feel cumbersome at all. And I just really like the way it feels, especially with all of that cushion, that elevated height. It just adds a little bit of extra security in that rear section of the shoe, which is super important. All right, guys, so that pretty much takes care of it for the performance review on the LeBron 18. Do I like it more than the 17s? Some aspects, yes. Traction, definitely. Cushion as well. The fit, though, that containment, I just feel like the forefoot area is lacking a little bit. If that was elevated a little bit more, where you sat in the midsole and they had an actual outrigger, this would be one of those shoes that is so well rounded it's not even funny. So I think that it's a great job, other than that one issue. So that pretty much takes care of it for the performance review side. If you need any more information, make sure that you click the link in the description box below to head over to WearTesters.com, where you can see their price, their weight, their scores. But don't leave just yet. What year are you from? What's up with this?
I don't know what's going on here. There's no padding inside. This sweater is just...
You need bigger hair.
A mind of its own.
Yeah, this is...
We have a family we've been quarantining with, and to finish off the year, we're doing an ugly Christmas sweater, and I feel like I just won.
It's an ugly Christmas sweater competition, and I feel like she just won. I don't even know what anybody else is wearing, but this... You look like you from like a Michael Jackson video or something. Like you with Janet.
I know.
You
I don't know.
I mean? Paula. Man, those were fun times. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Anyways,
we do have a giveaway.
Is day 11.
Yeah, we're almost done, okay, with our 12 days of Christmas, but this is day 11. This was one of my favorite shoes last year. I think the 34s and the Omnis were like the top ones, but this was like close behind. These are f***ing awesome. I love these, the Kyrie 6s. Great grip, great everything. I love these. These are so comfortable, and we're giving them away to
our WearTester Discord member, SI 3 and 4. That was really hard to remember, FYI, because there's no flow to it for me.
Everything's hard to remember for me, man. So
yeah.
I get it. But yeah, these are coming your way. Thank you so much for being a WearTesters Discord community member. We really appreciate you. We appreciate your support. For anybody curious on joining, there will be a link down below in the description box. You can click that. It'll head you over to WearTesters.com, where you can read all about it. This is just our December giveaway, but we do giveaways every month, so for our gold members and everything. And again, you can read about that down below. These are courtesy of Phenom Global, by the way. So they have sponsored the tail end of our 12 days of Christmas. So if you were interested in these outside of the giveaway, I believe they still have some of these available. So if you were looking for a pair, you can hit them up. They take phone orders. Happy holidays to everybody. We really appreciate you guys for being here. If you needed any more information on these, you can head over to WearTesters.com, where you can check out their price, their weight, their scores, along with the written performance review. That's pretty much all I got to say. Anything else besides that sweater's ugly?
Shut up. Come back.
Poke me in the eye with the shoulder pads.
Make sure you come back for our next video, because we have one more December giveaway to do.
We do have, well, we have one more December giveaway, but we also have one more.
We have a big one coming up.
And it'll be outside of the 12 days. It's a very special one. It's actually provided by one of our viewers. So stay tuned for that. I'll do a separate video for that, explaining everything, because it deserves it. So yeah, thank you guys so much for everything. We really appreciate you. And until next time, guys, have a good one. Your ride's here.
They're here to arrest me from my non-existent shoulder pad.
They're here to deliver that that championship trophy that you stole when you put that sweater on.